Pandemic, pandemic. That's COVID 19. That's COVID 19. That's COVID 19 has certainly destroyed the pillars of education all around the globe. It's a disaster which has been created. Millions of children have been deprived of educational system during the pandemic time. So now it's a right time to strengthen the educational system and the protection of the right to education by rebuilding the system in a robust way. School and college closures is not only a temporary interference with the education system of some students, but is kind of a abrupt end of some candidates also. Even for the students who will return to their classrooms, the evidence suggests that for years to come, they will continue to feel the consequences of lost learning during the pandemic time. So now I would like to request whoever or whichever management or government is listening in this video, don't cancel any more exams. Let the candidates go to the schools and colleges. Let everything come in the real shape as it was. Good evening, everyone. Today, I got an opportunity to meet one of my colleagues and a professional person who is into the overseas education. So, based on the pandemic effects and pandemic scenario, I would just like to get a view from Mr. Orgo and Mr. Apurvo, who both are the founder directors of Sairam Institute of Higher Studies, SIHS. How the things are working in the pandemic situation, how the overseas admissions are happening, how the students are going to the overseas this universities, and how the education is being carried on. So, Mr. Orgo, I'd just like to have a brief scenario from you how the things are going ahead.
It actually, this pandemic has changed the perspective how the students look or how we should look towards the education. Now, at present condition, skill-based education is to be emphasized upon more by the students rather than traditional educations. The courses like data science, courses like artificial intelligence, courses like programming courses, computer-based courses, medical courses, paramedical courses. These are the kind of courses which are into a boom, and students are interested towards all these courses because these courses are directly related to job opportunities. Yeah, universities like HSE University Russia, which we are one of the partners in South Asia, they have such kind of courses where they almost guarantee jobs. Now it depends upon the quality of the students, how they over there they go to Russia and study. It's dependent upon them. And most importantly now, the education, the mode of education has been transformed from offline to online. Therefore, the students, if they choose to study in India or they want to go outside India to study, but still the platform is online. So I think the students must prefer online studies and accept foreign universities to guide them properly. This will not be only beneficial for them career-wise, but financially also. If we see the cost is almost the same.
Right.
Now, next, if we consider the medical education, as Mr. Tamal, you already know what the scenario of medical education is. People are inclined to go outside to study MBBS or MD. This is because not only it's cheaper outside, but the facilities are better. And now when they come back to India, both of them do have to go through NEXT examination. So this is making students inclined more towards going outside and studying, which is financially also beneficial for them. And even when they are staying in India, they are going through online classes. And if they are studying somewhere in Ukraine or somewhere in Poland or somewhere in Australia, there also it's online classes. Moving from Calcutta, moving from Delhi to Tamil Nadu would be a distance to cover. There would be cultural differences where the students need to adjust themselves. Whereas if they go outside the country, the problems are same, but the facilities are more. So this way, this way the it's affecting the pandemic is affecting the education outside.
Okay, so like, how is SIHS contributing or playing a role in the students' part? Like, just since like the HS means +2 exam results are out, how is SIHS playing the role of contributing the students to seek a better option?
One of our visions and one of the visions of SIHS is that we are not for profit organization. That means that doesn't mean that we are loss making organization, but profit is a secondary part for us. Primarily, when me and Apurva got together and we started this work, so our main objective was to instruct students or tell students the right track of education. So from last year, we have taken certain initiatives to let the students know what actually their career path would be. Separate programs for the same. And over there, the correct bent of mind of the student is determined via software and our counselors. And then a student is advised a proper guidance towards what kind of careers he would be choosing. Now, even if a student is determined to go to select a particular kind of career, then we tell them that what is your financial capability, and in accordance to that financial capabilities, we support them with the kind of colleges which would be better for them. Or if they have certain preferences, we do see their academic backgrounds along with their financial capabilities, and then we prescribe them what kind of colleges would be suitable for them.
So like which are the countries or which are the like continents you are highlighting on?
It depends upon the courses. If a student wishes to study medical abroad, which our focus is, and most of the students who approach us, they do inquire for medical studies. Now for medical, we focus on Ukraine, Russia, and Bangladesh. But for other programs like engineering, we have started our collaboration from this year with the European countries as well, like New Zealand, Australia. In Russia also, there are a few very good universities. And there are some dual programs also, like I told you about the HSE in Russia, which has dual programs where 2 years student can study in Russia, and after that he can migrate to any other European countries like Austria or UK. These dual degree programs are getting popular these days as students. The investment of the student is lesser, and they can finish their study in some European countries where the career is also a brighter one. For medical studies, every country has its own benefits. If somebody goes to Bangladesh for medical studies, which many of the students are interested in from West Bengal, the thing is that the Bangladesh syllabus of the Bangladesh and syllabus of India is exactly same. So when the students after passing out from Bangladesh come back to India, then they appear for NET examinations. These are easy things for them because the syllabus is same. Similarly, if the student goes to Ukraine, you have 2 examinations during their course of study, Crop 1 and Crop 2. When student cracks both of the examinations, they can work anywhere in European countries, which is a kind of feather on their hat. So this way, every country has their own benefits. It's upon the students, their academic background, and performance and their financial capabilities, we have to prescribe them.
Okay. So, besides India, like as you are working in other nations, like are the COVID scenario okay?
COVID scenario is almost same around the world. It comes in waves. So except in New Zealand, New Zealand the COVID is completely under control. But still, it's kind of a situation where New Zealand government is yet not allowing any other students to fly over there. But hopefully they will do it from 2022. Now other countries it's like waves, but students are doing their online classes. Till now, the till August 31st, the flights are officially suspended. And once the flight starts, slowly, I think after the business, when students would be the second preference for the governments to go, because there are many students who are in third year, fourth year, they are staying over here and doing their online classes. They need to go for their practicals and all.
Okay. So, like another question which was coming in my mind is like how many years old is your organization?
Uh, Personally, on a personal level, we are into this overseas education from 2013, 2014. But collectively, me and Apurva came together and with a mission which we started SIHS, Sairam. This is it has been like 3 years now.
Okay. How many students has been boarded till now?
Till now, it has been 170 students for SIHS.
Lovely. That's a lovely figure. That's a fair and lovely figure, as I can say. Okay. So, like, coming to the next question, which is a very important question for the candidates who have just come up or cleared their plus two exams. Is there any kind of like opportunities or of scholarship for the candidates?
Of course, scholarships are always available. Most of the universities outside they provide scholarships. Now, this scholarship is dependent upon two or three conditions. Primarily, how good in academically the student is. Most of the universities they have a process of interviewing their students. So before they do any kind of intake or give them any offers to study over there, they have a direct conversation with the students, and how the student perform in that conversation, the scholarship is decided. Also, along with the studies, how much student has done his extracurricular activities. For example, a student, if he is good in football or if he is good in any other athletic sports, so this would be counted. And scholarship, one most important thing the student must remember is that scholarship is given to good students. That is not to help the student financially, but this is directly related to the promotion of the university which is intaking the student. Now they want some good students over there who will perform well, who will get some better jobs for them, or they will do good research for the universities in future if support is provided to them. This should not be considered by the student as financial aid. So this is upon merit, and there are various parameters upon which this merit is tested upon by the universities, and different universities have different parameters. And but basic thing I have told, it's about academic, it's about extracurricular activities, it's how student presents themselves, the knowledge of the student which student has overall. So this is how the scholarship goes.
To the last part of our discussion, like where is the exact location of your house or your office?
We work
Yeah,
from
it's
Patuli. I would like to Apurvo to please.
Yeah,
Uh,
Apurvo, please, if you can tell us.
yeah. We work from Patuli, Kolkata, and our office location is near Walland Goldsmith School.
Okay.
It's a near location is
Okay.
Walland Goldsmith School.
Okay. So, both Apurva and Orgo, I'd just like to request you, like, if you have any kind of prospectus or any kind of information bulletin for the students, please, I would like to request you to share the same with me so that I can put it in the description box. and definitely like the students can refer that and can get in touch with you, right?
Sure.
Uh,
Sure.
Today, hope that was a great session. If you have liked the discussion, please don't forget to subscribe my channel, Mixed Bag. Hope everybody has enjoyed the discussion, and people who want to get in touch with us, do follow our description box for more details. Thank you.